The anonymous CEO entered his store as a struggling customer to see who would actually help him. He thought he was testing her humanity. He did not realize she was testing his. The air inside the luxury watch boutique is cold, sterile, and smells of polished steel and expensive leather. Recessed yellow lights gleam off diamond-encrusted watch faces, making each one look like a captive star. It is a heavy silence, the kind that demands you speak in a whisper, or not at all. Liam pushes open the heavy glass doors. He is wearing a frayed gray t-shirt and worn khaki pants. To anyone else, he looks like a man who took a wrong turn on his way to a hardware store. But to Liam, the CEO of a world-renowned men's watch brand, this disguise is liberating. Exhausted by the suffocating masks of high society, he wants to see what happens when the mask is gone. Across the room, Chloe stands behind a velvet-lined counter. She scans Liam from his scuffed shoes to his unstyled hair. She does not offer a greeting. Instead, she lets out an audible scoff and returns to her smartphone. To her, Liam is just a smudge on her pristine afternoon. Then, there is Sienna. Meticulously polishing a vintage chronograph, she sees Liam and does not hesitate. She sets down her cloth and walks toward him with a steady, graceful pace. Her smile is not a practiced, plastic grin. It is warm. It is human. "Good afternoon, sir," Sienna says softly. "Welcome to our boutique. May I guide you through our latest collection?" Liam gestures vaguely toward a gold-rimmed timepiece worth $60,000. "That one looks interesting." "An excellent choice," Sienna replies, without a hint of judgment. Using white silk gloves, she unlocks the case. She explains the complex movement and the history of the craftsman with a level of detail usually reserved for royalty. For 15 minutes, she treats the man in the frayed t-shirt as if he is the most important person in the room. "I will take it," Liam says finally. They walk to the marble checkout counter. Chloe is still there, hovering like a cloud of arrogance. Liam reaches into his pockets. He pats his chest. He frowns, his movements becoming frantic. "I cannot believe this," Liam mutters, looking genuinely distressed. "I think I have lost my wallet. My cards are locked." The silence in the store snaps. Chloe lets out a sharp, jagged laugh. "I knew it." Chloe sneers, her voice dripping with contempt. "The act is over then. You should not come into a high-end store to play pretend just because you are bored. You are wasting our time." Sienna's brow furrows. She steps firmly between Liam and her colleague. "Chloe, that is enough. He is a guest." "A guest?" Chloe barks. "He is a fraud, Sienna. And you spent 20 minutes acting like his servant because you are both from the same gutter. You are poor, your family is nothing, and you think being nice to a loser will change that?" Sienna stands her ground. Her hands clench at her sides, but her voice is cold, steady, and loud enough for the room to hear. "It is true that my family is poor," Sienna says, each word hitting like a hammer. "It is true that my status is not high. But tell me, Chloe, if you are so noble and so rich, why are you standing here working the same shift as me? We are both employees. The only difference is that I am paid to serve our clients, and you seem to think you are paid to judge them. Your arrogance does not make you wealthy. It just makes you small." Chloe's face turns a violent shade of red. Her mouth opens, but no words come out. She recoils in visible humiliation. Sienna turns back to Liam, her expression softening instantly. "I am so sorry for that, sir," she says quietly. "Please, do not worry about the watch. What matters is your wallet and your important documents." Liam stares at her. He is used to people mourning a lost commission. He is not used to someone worrying about his peace of mind. "I will grab my coat," Sienna continues. "We will walk back the way you came. We will find it together." Liam feels a strange tightening in his chest. For the first time in years, someone is looking at him and seeing a human being in trouble. And for the CEO who has everything, That is the most valuable thing he has ever found." Sienna was far from half-hearted. The moment Liam finished speaking about the lost wallet, she quickly asked her manager for permission, stepped out of the boutique, and walked straight into the darkness of the narrow alley next door. "Mr. Liam, don't worry too much. We will find it," Sienna said, her voice full of determination even though her forehead was beaded with sweat. Dusk had already fallen. The sallow streetlights cast their glow on stagnant puddles and the mossy walls of the old neighborhood. Sienna did not hesitate to roll up her pristine white shirt sleeves, kneeling directly on the dirt-covered ground. She turned on the flashlight from her old phone, carefully inspecting every patch of jagged weeds growing along the curb. She even bent low, peering into the pitch-black storm drains, disregarding the fact that her clothes were getting smeared with mud. Liam slowly trailed behind, his heart heavy. He watched her small figure diligently searching for an item that was never even there. A strong sense of guilt welled up inside the young CEO. This was no longer a simple service quality test. He realized he was tormenting the sincerity of a good person with a selfish prank. "Sienna, maybe we should stop? It's probably really lost. No need to look anymore." Liam spoke up, his voice slightly choked. Sienna still did not stop. She wiped a streak of sweat from her forehead, leaving a small smudge of dirt on her cheek. "We can't do that. There are a lot of important documents in the wallet, right? Money can be earned back, but it's very difficult to replace documents. Wait for me a moment. I will check this corner thoroughly one more time." Liam could not bear it any longer. He pretended to walk toward the old car he had intentionally parked in a dark corner of the lot. He opened the door, rummaged around for a moment, and then held up the battered leather wallet. "It's right here. Sienna, I found it," Liam called out loudly. Sienna sprang up, her breathing heavy. She ran over, her eyes lighting up when she saw the wallet in his hand. Liam scratched his head, smiling awkwardly. It fell right under the driver's seat in the car. "I am truly sorry for making you waste your effort searching all this time." Sienna rested her hands on her knees, panting from exhaustion. She tilted her head to look at him, her face showing mock disappointment. "Oh my goodness, and here I was about to crawl into the sewer to find it for you." But then, the exhaustion quickly faded away. Sienna burst into a crisp laugh at the naive and somewhat foolish demeanor of the man in front of her. Her smile was so pure that it left Liam stunned for a moment. "To make up for it, may I buy you dinner?" Liam offered, this time as a genuine invitation. Sienna wiped a speck of dust off her shirt and smiled, declining politely. "Thank you, but I didn't really help much. I'm just glad you found your wallet. Drive safely, and don't drop it again." She waved goodbye and turned to walk back to the boutique. Liam stood silently in the deserted parking lot, his eyes following her small but resilient silhouette. He intently recalled the name tag that had been gleaming on her shirt earlier. Sienna Hayes. Liam smiled, an indescribable emotion creeping into his heart. Sienna was not the type to easily wait for a reward or a chance at a better life from someone else. She had clear boundaries and an admirable sense of self-respect. The young CEO realized that he was not only impressed by her sincerity, but was also beginning to deeply respect this humble girl. Liam's luxury villa, late night. The interior of the villa is so vast that even a footstep echoes with a sense of profound loneliness. Floor-to-ceiling glass walls reflect the sprawling, indifferent lights of the city below. Inside, a single designer lamp casts a pool of warm light over an expensive mahogany desk. Liam sits there, still wearing the frayed gray t-shirt from earlier. Surrounded by untouched wine and high-tech gadgets, he stares at a thin manila folder, the employee file of Sienna Hayes. The crisp, rhythmic rustle of paper. The steady, hypnotic ticking of a wall clock in the silence. Liam's eyes fixate on the small ID photo clipped to the corner. Sienna isn't beaming like she was in the boutique, but her gaze holds a striking, quiet ferocity. "Sienna Hayes, 28 years old," Liam mutters. His voice sounds hollow in the empty room. He slides his finger down to the education section. She graduated at the top of her business administration class just 1 year ago. Her GPA was nearly perfect. He pauses, noticing the timeline. She started university at 24, 6 years later than most of her peers. He flips the page. His brow furrows. The family emergency contact section is a stark, white void. A small handwritten note at the bottom of her application catches his eye. Both parents deceased. No immediate living relatives. Liam leans back, the folder slipping from his hand onto the desk. A heavy, somber weight settles in his chest. He remembers her smile from this afternoon, the smile of someone who chose to treat the world with kindness, even though the world had likely turned its back on her many times. He looks around his opulent home. The marble floors and gold accents suddenly feel grotesque. A cold wave of shame washes over him. Who was he to use a deceptive game to test the humanity of a woman who had fought through hell just to stand on her own 2 feet? His curiosity dissolves, replaced by a profound, aching respect. Sienna doesn't need his pity. She is stronger, more resilient than any high-powered board member he has ever faced. "I had no right to test you," Liam whispers to the empty room. He realizes that behind that simple name tag and professional courtesy is a soul forged in fire. For the first time in years, the billionaire CEO of a global empire feels small. He isn't looking at a salesgirl anymore. He is looking at a hero. The afternoon sun slants through the boutique windows, turning dust motes into tiny flecks of gold. Sienna is on her knees, meticulously polishing the base of a glass display case. A pair of high-heeled shoes stops inches from her hand. "So, Sienna," Chloe's voice drips with sarcasm, "how was the grand reward? Did the beggar give you a nickel for your heroic search in the gutter?" Sarah, another salesgirl, giggles from behind the counter. "Maybe he gave her a thank you card made of cardboard. That is what people like that do, right?" Sienna does not look up. Her rag continues its rhythmic circles on the glass. The silence is her only weapon. She does not give them the satisfaction of a reaction, she just works. Hours later, the heavy glass doors lock behind her. Sienna exhales, the cool evening air a relief after the suffocating scent of expensive perfume. "Sienna." She jumps slightly. Across the sidewalk, leaning against a modest, silver sedan, is Liam. He has traded his frayed shirt for a simple navy sweater. He looks normal, approachable. "How do you know my name?" she asks, eyes wide with surprise. Liam smiles, a slow, genuine curve of the lips. He points toward the lapel of her coat. "Your name tag is hard to miss. It is practically glowing." Sienna looks down, feeling heat in her cheeks. "Oh, right, I forgot to take it off." She lets out a small, self-deprecating laugh. Suddenly, she stands up straight. She clears her throat and adopts a mock-serious tone, extending her hand with professional grace. "Good evening, sir," she says, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "My name is Sienna. It is a pleasure to welcome you. How may I assist a distinguished gentleman today?" Liam chuckles, the sound deep and warm. The tension of the boutique feels miles away. Here, on the bustling sidewalk, they are just 2 people. "Actually," Liam says, falling into the joke, "I am in the market for a timepiece, but I am afraid your usual shop is out of my bracket. I need something reliable, for a very special friend." "A special friend, you say?" Sienna tilts her head. "Follow me. I know a place 3 blocks down. Good quality, honest prices." They walk together. The city hums around them. Liam moves with a strange, quiet confidence that Sienna cannot quite place, but it makes her feel safe. Inside the smaller shop, the atmosphere is loud and bright. No velvet, no hushed whispers, just rows of sturdy watches. Liam picks up a classic stainless steel model. It is a man's style, but the band is tiny. Sienna bites her lip to keep from laughing. "Liam, does your friend have the wrists of a 10-year-old boy?" Liam looks at the watch, then at her. His expression softens into something vulnerable. Actually, He is 12. It is a birthday gift. Sienna's teasing grin vanishes. She looks at the watch again, then back at Liam. Her heart does a strange, gentle flip. He isn't buying this for himself or some high society peer. He is buying a gift for a child. 12, she repeats softly. That is a big year. He will need something that can handle an adventure. She spends the next 20 minutes helping him compare models, her expertise now fueled by a quiet warmth. As they step back out onto the street, Liam turns to her. Sienna, thank you. I would have been lost in there. He pauses, reaching for his phone. Could I get your number? Just in case I have questions about the maintenance. I want to make sure it lasts for him. Sienna looks at him. She sees the sincerity. He isn't a shark. He is just a man trying to do something kind. Maintenance questions, huh? She asks, a smile playing on her lips. Sure, Liam, for the sake of the watch. She takes his phone and types in her number. As she hands it back, their fingers brush. A small spark, unnoticed by the city, but felt by both. The contrast is stark. Liam sits in his penthouse office, a vast glass command center overlooking the city's glowing veins. The air is filtered, silent, and smelling of cold ozone. 10 miles away, Sienna sits at a small, chipped wooden table in her cramped studio apartment. The hum of an old refrigerator is her only company. She is eating a simple bowl of noodles, her shoulders slumped from a 10-hour shift. A notification pings on her phone. It is Liam. Liam, is work exhausting today? I keep thinking about what those women said to you. Are they still giving you a hard time because of me? Sienna stares at the screen. She remembers Chloe's stinging comments and the extra cleaning tasks piled on her desk today. She winces, then types back with a tired smile. Sienna. It is fine, Liam. People will be people. I do not care about them. As long as I do my job well, I can sleep peacefully. Don't worry about it. In his office, Liam's grip tightens on his phone. Her resilience is beautiful, but the injustice of it tastes like ash in his mouth. He puts the phone down and turns to a wall-sized monitor. Access branch 402. Archive footage. Today, he commands. The screen flickers to life. High-definition security footage of the boutique fills the room. Liam watches in grim silence. There is Chloe, leaning against a velvet pillar, her eyes glued to her smartphone while a middle-aged couple wanders aimlessly through the gallery. There is Sarah, gossiping near the registers, laughing as she ignores a ringing phone. And then, there is Sienna. She is everywhere. She is carrying heavy shipment boxes. She is polishing the glass Chloe just leaned on. She is greeting every customer with the same genuine warmth she gave him, even as Chloe tosses a pile of disorganized paperwork onto her station. Liam's jaw sets. He watches Chloe point a finger at Sienna, her mouth moving in what looks like a sharp, condescending command. Sienna simply nods, takes the task, and keeps moving. A slow, cold anger begins to radiate from Liam. It isn't the loud, explosive kind. It is the calculated rage of a predator who has seen enough. He leans forward, his eyes fixed on Chloe's mocking face on the screen. He hits a key on his keyboard, saving the footage to a private server. You think you are untouchable because you wear my brand, Liam whispers, his voice cutting through the silence of the office like a blade. But you have forgotten who the brand belongs to. He picks up his phone and sends one last message to Sienna. Liam, you deserve better than fine, Sienna. Get some rest. He closes the laptop. The decision is made. It is time to clean house, and he is going to start with the people who think they are too big to be kind. The Sunday morning sun filters through the ancient oak trees of the St. Jude orphanage. The light is warm, but it carries a quiet, melancholic dust. The air rings with the sound of children laughing and rubber balls bouncing against the pavement. Sienna stands in the courtyard, her arms full of colorful notebooks. She hands them out to a line of eager kids, offering a bright smile with every book. Then, she freezes. Across the yard, Sitting on a weathered wooden bench is Liam. He is leaning forward, talking quietly to a small, quiet boy with unruly brown hair. Sienna squints against the sunlight. On the boy's thin wrist, catching the morning glare, is the classic stainless steel watch they bought together just days ago. She walks over slowly, her footsteps crunching on the gravel. "Liam?" she calls out, her voice a mix of confusion and surprise. Liam looks up. For a second he is utterly speechless. "Sienna, I did not expect to see you here." The boy looks between them, then silently runs off to join his friends, proudly checking the time on his new watch. Sienna sits down on the bench next to Liam. The space between them feels different today. The air of the city is gone, leaving only bare, unmasked truth. "So, that is the special friend," Sienna says softly, watching the boy run. "Why are you here, Liam?" Liam looks down at his hands. He takes a long, shaky breath. The playful, clumsy persona he wore at the boutique melts away entirely. "My parents died in a car crash when I was 10. Liam says, his voice low and raspy. "My grandfather took me in, but he passed away 4 years later. I had no one else. I grew up right here, in this exact orphanage." Sienna's breath catches. She looks at the imposing brick building, then back at him. "When I look at him," Liam gestures toward the boy with the watch, "I see myself, the same anger, the same fear of being forgotten." Silence settles between them. It is not uncomfortable. It is the heavy, sacred silence of shared pain. Sienna looks down at her worn sneakers. She bites the inside of her cheek. "I thought I was the only one carrying ghosts today," she whispers. Liam turns to her, his eyes filled with gentle inquiry. "My childhood was not a fairy tale either," Sienna continues, her voice trembling slightly but remaining fiercely steady. "My father was a gambling addict. He drank. He hit us. When I was 18, I got an acceptance letter to a good university. I had to tear it up the same day. I needed to work to keep the electricity on." Liam listens, his heart aching with every word. He does not interrupt, he just witnesses her strength. "Then my mom got sick," Sienna's voice cracks. "She died when I was 22. At 22, it was just me against the world." She looks up at the sky, blinking hard. "I cried until I could not breathe, Liam. I screamed at the walls. But crying does not pay hospital bills. It does not buy food." She takes a deep, shuddering breath, forcing the air back into her lungs. "So, I stopped crying. I worked 3 jobs. And at 24, I finally started college." Liam looks at her. His eyes are raw with admiration and sorrow. He reaches out, but stops his hand mid-air, afraid to break her fragility. A single tear escapes Sienna's eye. It rolls slowly down her pale cheek, catching the sunlight. Before it can reach her chin, she fiercely wipes it away with the back of her hand. She turns to Liam, playfully slapping his shoulder. "Anyway, that is all in the past," Sienna says, forcing a bright, defiant smile to chase away the gloom. "We have to keep moving forward, right? Good things are waiting for us. I know it." She stands up quickly, dusting off her jeans. "I promised to show the girls how to fold paper cranes," she says, her energy returning. "I will see you later, Liam." She runs off toward a group of girls under the oak tree, her laughter mingling with theirs. Liam remains on the bench. He watches her back, his chest tight with an emotion so powerful it steals his breath. He realizes, with absolute clarity, that he is completely in love with her. Not because she is kind to a poor man, but because she is a warrior who refused to let the world turn her cold. He clenches his jaw. The billionaire CEO makes a silent promise. He cannot lie to her anymore. Not for another day. The luxury watch boutique is at its absolute peak hour. The air is thick with the scent of expensive bergamot. The soft, rhythmic clink of metal against glass echoes through the room. Wealthy patrons drift through the aisles like ghosts in designer silk. Then, The heavy glass doors swing open. The sheer force commands the entire room to go silent. Liam enters. But this is not the man in the frayed t-shirt. This is not the clumsy guy from the orphanage. He is draped in a charcoal gray, bespoke three-piece suit. It fits him like a second skin. His hair is perfectly styled. His jawline looks like it was carved from granite. He strides with the absolute authority of a man who owns every molecule of air in the building. Chloe sees him first. She rushes forward, her calculated smile firmly in place. Then, her eyes widen as the facial features click into place. "You?" Chloe gasps, her voice dripping with venom. "What are you doing back here? I thought I made it clear that we do not tolerate beggars playing dress-up." Liam does not even slow down. He raises one hand. It is a cold, dismissive gesture that silences her instantly. He pushes past her, his polished leather shoes clicking rhythmically against the marble floor. He stops directly in front of Sienna. Sienna is in the middle of polishing a diamond-set chronograph. She looks up. Her breath hitches. The soft microfiber cloth slips from her fingers, falling to the floor with a silent thud. "Liam?" she whispers, her voice trembling. "What? Why are you dressed like this? You look—" Liam offers her a confident smile, the smile of a savior. He turns his back to her, facing the entire staff and the stunned customers. His voice rings out like a thunderclap. "Attention, everyone," Liam commands. The room falls into a vacuum-like silence. "I have kept a secret for far too long. I am Liam Sterling. I am the CEO and owner of this entire conglomerate." Gasps ripple through the crowd. Chloe's face drains of all color, turning a sickly ash gray. She looks as if the floor has suddenly opened up beneath her feet. Liam turns his gaze toward Chloe. His eyes are as sharp as razor blades. "I came to this branch as a simple man to see the true soul of my company," Liam says, his voice ice cold. "And what did I find? I found a salesperson who believes that a bank account determines a person's worth. You only welcome the wealthy? Do the poor not deserve basic respect? You have broken the very rules this company was built on." He pulls a heavy manila folder from his jacket and slams it onto the marble counter. "This is the security footage from the past month. Chloe, you are fired, effective immediately. Pack your things and leave." Chloe bursts into loud, ragged sobs, scrambling to gather her handbag. The other staff members stand frozen in pure shock. Liam turns to the store manager. "Sienna Hayes is to be promoted to senior consultant immediately. Her salary is tripled." He turns back to Sienna. He is beaming. He is waiting for her to run to him. He is waiting for the tears of joy, the look of absolute admiration. He has won. He has saved her. But Sienna is standing perfectly still. Her face is not glowing with happiness. It is deathly pale. Her eyes are not filled with admiration. They are filled with a cold, jagged, and profound disappointment. "Sienna?" Liam asks, his smile faltering. "Are you all right? I wanted to give you a surprise." Sienna looks at him as if he is a complete stranger. "Is that what you think this is?" she asks, her voice low and trembling with sudden anger. "A fun surprise? A test to see if I was worthy of your charity?" "No, Sienna. I wanted to protect you." "You lied to me," she says, her words sharp as broken glass. She takes a step back, shaking her head. "I don't need a savior, Liam." She turns to the manager, her voice hollow. "I need to take the rest of the day off." She does not wait for a reply. Sienna turns her back on the billionaire CEO and walks out the glass doors, leaving him standing in the center of his vast empire, completely and utterly alone. The sun is a dying ember on the horizon, casting long, bruised shadows across the quiet lakeside park. The water is a sheet of dark glass, ruffled only by a cold evening breeze. Liam stands by the willow tree, clutching a massive bouquet of deep crimson roses. In his tailored suit, he looks like a prince from a storybook, but his eyes are restless. He is waiting. Sienna appears through the mist, She is wearing the same coat from the boutique, but she looks taller somehow, steelier. Liam steps forward, his heart hammering against his ribs. He holds out the flowers. "Sienna," he says, his voice thick with hope. "I have been looking for you everywhere. I wanted to tell you how I feel. Properly this time." Sienna stops 2 feet away. She looks at the roses, then up at his face. She does not reach for them. "Do you think this fixes it?" she asks. Her voice is a low, steady blade. "Do you think deceiving me, playing a pauper to test my heart, was some grand, noble act of love?" Liam's smile falters. The roses feel heavy in his hands. "I only wanted to find someone who was real, Sienna. Someone who didn't see the money first. I wanted to know who you really were." "And you did that by mocking my kindness," Sienna interrupts. Her voice trembles, but her gaze never wavers. "The day at the orphanage, I gave you everything. I gave you my secrets, my pain, my absolute sincerity, and you sat there, knowing you were a billionaire, watching a girl struggle to survive while you enjoyed your little play. You didn't find out who I was, Liam. You just showed me who you are." "I love you," Liam says, desperation cracking his voice. He drops the flowers. They hit the grass with a muffled thud. "I want to take care of you. You will never have to worry about hospital bills or rent ever again. I can give you the world." Sienna takes a slow, deliberate step back. "I spent 10 years falling down and getting back up to take care of myself," she says. "I survived a father who broke me and a world that ignored me. I worked. I studied. I bled for my independence. I do not need a savior, Liam, and I certainly do not need a boss who treats my life like a social experiment." She takes a deep breath, her eyes clearing of the last remnants of hurt. "I am resigning from the boutique," she says. "Effective immediately. Do not follow me." She turns. She does not look back at the roses dying on the grass. She walks into the shadows, her silhouette sharp and unbreakable. 6 months later. The city is waking up under a gentle spring rain. On a quiet corner, a small, elegant sign hangs over a lightly fogged window. Sienna's Bloom. It is a tiny flower shop, bought with years of disciplined savings and a fierce, newfound pride. Inside, Sienna is trimming the stems of white lilies. She is not wearing a designer uniform. She is wearing a simple canvas apron, her face glowing as she hands a wrapped bouquet to a customer. Across the street, a black sedan is parked. Liam sits behind the wheel. Over the past 6 months, he has deeply reflected on his impulsive, arrogant actions. He finally understands the weight of Sienna's words. They hadn't severed ties completely. An occasional, polite text message asking about a book recommendation or checking in on the weather had kept a fragile bridge between them. He hasn't tried to save her or throw his wealth around anymore. Instead, he has learned to simply respect her, watching from afar as she builds her own empire, one flower at a time. Sienna looks up from the counter. She sees the car. This time, Liam doesn't just hide in the shadows. He opens the door and steps out into the light spring rain. He isn't holding a grand bouquet of roses, and he isn't wearing an intimidating power suit. He is just Liam, standing quietly on the sidewalk. Sienna walks to the doorway of her shop. She doesn't turn away. As their eyes meet across the quiet street, a soft, gentle smile touches her lips. Liam smiles back, the heavy tension of the past finally washing away in the rain. It is not a rushed fairy tale ending. It is something much better. It is 2 people finally standing on equal ground, opening the door to a truly beautiful love story. In the defining moments of our lives, true character is rarely revealed when we hold all the cards. Instead, it is profoundly exposed in how we respect those who seemingly have nothing to offer us. Liam walked into that boutique, believing he was testing Sienna, but he ultimately learned a devastating lesson about his own arrogance. We often judge people by the wealth they project, forgetting that every individual, whether a passing stranger or a customer walking through our doors, deserves unwavering respect. True professionalism and humanity mean honoring a person's dignity, not evaluating their bank account. Liam learned that while wealth can purchase empires, it can never buy genuine authenticity or a sincere heart. Sienna's journey is a powerful reminder that our self-worth is not a currency to be traded, nor a subject for someone else's experiment. True empowerment does not come from waiting to be rescued by someone else's power. It is forged by building your own path, stone by painful stone. Ultimately, whether in business or in love, relationships constructed on secret tests and deception will always fracture. Real connection requires two people courageous enough to stand on completely equal ground, facing one another with absolute, unflinching honesty. If this story resonated with you and you believe in the power of authenticity, please subscribe to the Soul Stirring Stories channel. Join our community as we continue to explore the deep, complex, and beautiful realities of the human experience. Hit the subscribe button and let these stories keep moving your soul.